I think it's fair to say that we didn't really think about what our relationship would be like with our parents and in-laws after we got married, because we were probably focusing at the time on the wedding and what it would look like to build our own new home together.
And I think in hindsight, it would have been great if we had given that relationship some thought. We'd known each other for quite a long time. We'd had Christmases and family holidays together. We knew each other's families quite well. And I think we thought it would just be business as usual.
One of the key differences between our families is that my parents live a long way away and Catherine's parents live a couple of miles down the road. And so actually we hadn't thought through how those different relationships would start to develop over the coming years.
When we get married, I think our relationship with our parents and our in-laws changes because we need to look first of all to each other for support and security and no longer to our parents.
What we're doing is taking our husband or wife and saying, you are the most important thing in my life, and putting aside the relationships that we've had develop over many years with our mother or father. And it's really important that our husband or wife feels that they are the number one, the person that we are focusing on and building the new life with.
And I think working at our relationship with our parents and our in-laws has not always been easy, but it's so important for our relationship. But also, as and when children came along, it was really important for them that we had a great relationship with our parents and in-laws because, of course, they were our children's grandparents.
We're at a stage now with our children who are older and are leaving home, but our parents are becoming more dependent upon us again to do things with them and for them. Whereas perhaps when we first got married, it was us that was looking towards them for some of the help and assistance that we needed. So these things never stay the same anyway.
And looking back, I think it would have been helpful if we'd understood that this change in relationship was just as much an adjustment for our parents and in-laws as it was for us. In the early years of our marriage, there was a bit of an issue that arose between myself and my mother-in-law, who I have a great relationship with, but she does have a very tidy house. It is beautiful. Our house at the time maybe was not quite so tidy, and she would come to stay armed with rubber gloves and bleach, and she'd set to work and she cleaned the outside of the kettle and she cleaned the inside of the dishwasher. And at the time, I took that really personally. I took it as a criticism. But what I've come to learn over the years is that actually she was trying to help and support us. And so now I really love it when she comes to stay because she comes and cleans and we end up with a really tidy house and she feels valued as well.
If one of us doesn't have a very good relationship with one of our parents in the past, then we need to actually as a couple work together to help to improve that. We need to find out what the issues are and other practical things that we can start to do to rebuild that relationship and see it as our responsibility, not necessarily our mother's or father's responsibility, to start to tackle those issues.
And I think our experience has been that marriage itself can be very healing in terms of building a new relationship with parents.
And it may be that we can't solve those issues at the end of the day, but what is important is that we as a couple in our marriage stand side by side through these things and work together at how we're going to approach them.
And I think it's just like in our marriage relationship, we have to work at that. And in the same way, we have to work at the relationship that we want to build with our parents and with our in-laws.